And now to the ongoing investigation of several teachers and administrators tied to the St. Helens School District.
Now today we caught up with the acting police chief after we learned a middle school teacher is now under investigation. So 2 teachers have already been arrested and charged. This third is a middle school teacher, but they have not been charged at this point. DHS also confirming it is investigating the 2 teachers charged and 4 others. That includes 2 administrators accused of failing to report abuse.
Devin Haskins is live in St. Helens this afternoon with more details. And Devin, what did the police chief tell you?
Well, the acting police chief says that charges against the middle school teacher have not been filed yet and says this case could take a little longer than the other 2 teachers that were charged and arrested last week because the victims in this case are currently minors versus the victims that came forward. In those cases were adults. Says it all could take time if any charges get filed. St. Helens acting police chief Joseph Hogue says detectives were notified on Thursday about allegations made by several middle school students.
About what we will call at this point offensive physical contact that they had with a teacher.
He did say it was touching, but would not say if it was sexual. The allegations stretch back into last school year and into this school year, all involving middle school students. The difference between the cases last week and this one involves minors and will take longer to investigate.
The difference between the case now and the case we spoke about last week is the age of the victims. You know, these are middle school age kids, so the interview process is a lot different for these kids. They need to be given forensic interviews at child abuse assessment centers, which of course need to be scheduled in advance with parents and all of that.
It's the latest investigation brought forth in the St. Helens School District. Eric Stearns, a choir teacher, and Mark Collins, a retired math teacher, were arrested and charged on several counts of sexual abuse dating back at least 9 years.
Upon sending one out on the high school investigation, that did identify more victims that the detectives are working towards.
Stearns, Collins, and 2 other school employees are being investigated by the state for sexual abuse. We aren't naming the other 2 because they haven't been charged with the crime. Hogue says police haven't been made aware of any criminal activity against the unnamed 2.
We investigate crimes, and if we get notified that there's been a crime or criminal behavior, then of course then we get involved. A personnel investigation or an investigation done by DHS could in fact show that. And now if that happens, then we would be involved from a criminal standpoint at that point.
Katie Wagner, the principal at St. Helens High School, and Scott Stockwell, the district superintendent, are both on leave, both being investigated by the state for failing to report child abuse. The school board announced it would look for an interim superintendent, and on Thursday, Governor Tina Kotek applying pressure for the board to act fast, saying, if this expectation is not met within 14 days, I am prepared to escalate the state's engagement with the district and make a recommendation for an interim superintendent. The middle school teacher is on administrative leave right now, and the school board is scheduled to meet Monday to introduce a potential new interim superintendent to the community. Back to you.
All right, Devin, thanks for that report. And today we received new information about the retired teacher, Mark Collins, who was charged last week with sexual abuse involving students in St. Helens. The Scappoose School District said Collins substituted at the high school 7 times from last October to February of this year. Last November, a student reported hearing what they interpreted as pornography near where Collins was sitting. The district said Collins was never under investigation during his time in Scappoose, but he can no longer sub there.